Hello, my name is Ashley Woods, and I've actually been a part of Jubilee for 21 years. My parents actually decided to come to the church, and so as being an almost 13-year-old, I had to come as well. And so we've been here ever since.
My name is Derek Woods. I started to come into Jubilee 10 years ago. I came one Sunday, tried it out, encountered the Lord, received, ministry at the altar. Somebody prophesied over me. And really for the first time, I felt like, wow, God sees me. Like He knows me and He's speaking through this person that's praying for me.
Yes, I have experienced the joy of the Lord in a season where it seems like it may have been much harder to experience the joy of the Lord, and that was in the birth and in the development of our twins. And so we have 17-month-old twins, and both of us were very surprised, excited after the surprise wore off that we were having twins. But throughout the time of understanding how we were going to just raise them, and especially for me as being a stay-at-home mom, which that's what my plan was, it's that the stress started to overtake me more so than the joy did at first. And so I really had to, in the midst of my pregnancy struggles and the different things that came about, the Lord really had to show His face to me to realize, these babies are a blessing. And yes, things may be a little bit difficult or things will be drastically different. However, this is a joyous time. And so I really had to lean into that, especially in the very beginning stages of them being born and as newborn, in the newborn stage. And so I really, really saw God's face, especially through that first year of their life, and to understand what the joy of the Lord really meant for me personally as I was going through that season.
And I've experienced the joy of the Lord really in a season coming out of pain and hurt and hardship, and God shifted my expectations from being on men and leaders and people in my life, and really placing that expectation on Him. And through that perspective shift, God was able to restore joy and restore love.
The thing is, it had a lot to do with the fact of it was my expectations that I was putting above the Lord's expectations. I had an expectation, especially being pregnant, had an expectation of my pregnancy was going to go a certain way. I was going to be a stay-at-home mom and I was going to look a certain way. I was going to be able to do this and that. And when those realities did not fit the expectation that I had, the Lord in that moment was speaking to me to say, fix your eyes on me. You didn't even ask me what are my expectations for you in this season. And so when I began to shift my focus from my expectations to what His expectations was for me and for my children as I'm raising them in the home, everything began to shift, and the things that felt like just a struggle became more light, and it became a place where I have more joy and excitement every morning getting up with them, rather than feeling, oh, this is stressful, or oh, this is so much work. And so I had to really shift my focus, not on what I saw, but on Him and what was He expecting out of it for me.
The most impactful moments for me in terms of experiencing joy are in a state of brokenness at the altar. I can remember conferences, I can remember normal Sundays laid out in the floor at the altar, broken, crying, but yet experiencing the joy of the Lord. So for me, the joy of the Lord is in worship. It's in brokenness. It's in recognizing that I'm nothing without Him, but He's everything. And there's joy in that, and I have hope in that.
I would say a way that the Lord has restored joy to me is just the understanding of what joy means. To me in my life, I think of, what's happiness versus joy. Happiness it could be just an emotion, or really it's tied to a condition. You're happy because of something. And what the Lord has just shown me with the word joy and what it truly means is you can have joy in spite of something. So no matter what's going on around you, no matter what situation you're in, that you can have joy in and that's a state of being. That's a state of mind. That's just what you are, no matter what it is going on. So I would just say just the understanding of what joy truly means. And to me, that is what joy means.
So we really walk in joy by laughing. Like, we're always cutting up with each other, with other people. I think that's the biggest thing for us that brings joy is laughing and just enjoying each other and God and everything He's blessed us with.
Yes, and no matter what's going on, whether it's between us or just in the world, we're going to find the opportunity just to laugh and find the joy out of something. Maybe not that, but we're going to find joy in whatever we can with each other.
The difference between happiness and joy we've found is that happiness is kind of dependent on your emotions. It comes and goes, but joy is something that, first of all, comes from the Lord, and it comes from focusing on Him, but it will sustain you through whatever your emotions may be, whatever emotions you may be encountering, or whatever the circumstances may be.
Yes. I may not always be happy with him, but I'm always in a state of joy in our marriage.
Come on.